Hi, I'm Lottie, your local magical girl with a slight gacha addiction. Just a slight, a slight gacha addiction. At the moment, I'm not in my magical girl form because I get no sleep, and so I'm not powerful enough to transform. But, have you ever been part of a fandom that you think isn't really appreciated or gets much attention? That's kind of what the Idolmaster SideM fandom is to me. I've been a member, I guess, since before technically SideM was introduced into the Idolmaster series, with the second Idolmaster game in 2011 when Jupiter premiered. I remember watching the videos for their songs Alice or Guilty or Koi wa Hajimeyo all the time on YouTube, and they honestly always had my heart no matter what day it was. I would listen to those videos and just jam out. So if you haven't noticed already, this is technically my first YouTube video. I guess something I'm making and editing myself and praying it will turn out good. So I wanted it to be something near and dear to me, and that of course is Idolmaster SideM. With the new game coming out, do not know the release date yet, but Idolmaster SideM Growing Stars, very excited for that. So I wanted to take the time to talk about the fandom and the new game and my expectations about it. Before starting to talk about Idolmaster SideM and the new game Growing Stars, I want to do a small history lesson about the Idolmaster series and how it evolved into what it is today and how Idolmaster SideM became what it is. The Idolmaster series is a well-known idol series originating in Japan, created by the company Bandai Namco Entertainment, sometimes called Scamco by fans because, gacha games take all your money and then you cry when you don't get best girl or guy, and then you wonder where it all went wrong in your life, that you're fangirling, or fanguying, is that a word? Over 2D anime idols, and you wonder why you're so lonely. Idolmaster's first game was an arcade game released on July 26, 2005. The player played as a producer who produced various female idols within the series, such as Haruka, Makoto, and Chihaya. The game eventually was ported to the Xbox 360 in 2007, where they added the character Miki and more songs to the series. As the Idolmaster series grew in popularity, they eventually released several franchises within itself, such as Cinderella Girls, which has 190 different girls you can produce, Million Live, which includes the 13 original girls from Namiko Pro and 37 new idols, totaling as 50 girls you can produce, Shiny Colors, which has 25 idols, and then SideM, which has 46. Altogether makes a whopping 311 different idols that you can produce within the series. With all those different characters, you will have to have someone as your fave. Hi, Lottie here. Earlier I said there were 311 idols in the series. Well, that was a bit of a lie. I completely forgot about a few characters. First, there are the Dearly Star Girls, the Korean exclusive idols, and then the 961 duo. With these girls added, the correct number is 318 idols total within the Idolmaster series. Hopefully I didn't forget any others, because that would be really, really embarrassing, so yeah, let's pray I got this right this time. Now I will talk about the history of Idolmaster SideM. I had wanted to talk more about the history of the whole Idolmaster series as a whole, but it's honestly a lot for this video when I mostly want to talk about the SideM franchise, so hopefully one day I will actually do an intense, full read-through of the whole Idolmaster series for you. On February 24th, 2011, the Idolmaster 2 game was released on the Xbox 360. Later on, it was released on the PlayStation 3 on October 27, 2011. This game was a way for the franchise to expand their series to the world under what they call the Second Vision. This game is also where Jupiter, the first male group, was added to the game as rivals. I have seen people talk about how Jupiter isn't the first male idols in the franchise, how there was one before who was kind of like an NPC, but I could not find anything within my research, so if anyone knows anything, please tell me. Jupiter was part of the rival company Kuroi Pro. At the time, the game also took out the characters Yori, Azusa, and Ami from the roster to play. Instead, they were rivals in the group called Ryugu Komachi, produced by another idol in the game, Ritsuko, who ended up becoming their producer, essentially. At the time, many fans weren't happy with Jupiter being added to the game, or Yori, Azusa, Ami, and Ritsuko being seen as rivals, as some of them were faves to some fans, so they couldn't immediately play with their fave girl when they start the game. There were also many fans who did not like Jupiter because they thought they would taint their favorite girls, seeing how some people actually did ship Jupiter with some of the girls. Known ships were Toma with Haruka, Hokuto with Makoto, and then Shota with Yayoi. At the time, quite a few people did destroy their merch and then punch holes in the walls. There is quite a few evidence in that if you actually kind of look up Jupiter Backlash in the Idolmaster series. Despite all of this, Jupiter still did well for themselves as the first male group within the series. They had their CD release. Within the game, they got 2 songs, Alice or Guilty and Koi o Hajimeyo. They have some merch, and they even have their own manga to start them off with. On February 28, 2014, SideM's first game was released. It was a raising simulation similar to the original Cinderella Girls A Million Life game. It had a wide range of male idols that you can produce with different careers and personalities. Unfortunately, or sort of fortunately, they had to shut down the servers because of an overwhelming number of players that they were not expecting, which is actually kind of good seeing how there are people who really wanted to play the game because you get male idols in the Idolmaster series, who is mostly dominated by girls. The servers were reopened on July 17, 2014, where we were able to love our guys once again. SideM eventually grew in popularity, releasing banger songs, having top-notch voice actors, and cute and endearing characters, such as Toma, Pierre, and Michio. They even released merch, held live concerts, and collabs with cafes. They also had 2 different animes, one that was after the main game, and then another based off of the chibi manga Wake Ate Mini. And finally, a 3D rhythm game was announced, live on stage. I was so freaking happy. It was finally happening, like my boys, a 3D rhythm game with my boys, all my faves. I was legit gonna cry upon finding out about the announcement. But you know, then the game was released, and all my happy feelings were gone, because the game wasn't good. It sucked. It was horrible. Like what the f***? So first of all, the one thing I am truly 100% pissed off about live on stage was the 3D models. The 3D models were the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. If you compare the 3D models of live on stage to Deresute and Mirashita, you can see that my boys were shafted. They were given the short end of that damn stick. Their models just look so wonky, especially with some of the smiles, and they had this weird black bold outline around them compared to the girls' 3D models in their own games. It just felt so unnatural. It was so horrible. You just look at it and you can see the difference, and then you're like, oh, that's not good. Were they even trying? Was the company even trying? Were they possibly not paid well? And then recently I started playing N-Stars, and then you compare the 3D models of N-Stars to SideM, it pissed me off even more, because I was really enjoying playing N-Stars, but it reminded me of how horrible the 3D models of SideM were. And it just made me cry, and I was like, my boys, they're never gonna get any justice to them. It was horrible. Another thing was the beat maps of the songs. You couldn't even call them beat maps. They're an insult to all beat maps of all rhythm games within the world. It was not good. It was not good. It was even a beat map. It was legit just a small circle in the middle, and you have notes coming from the left and the right, and you just tap on the side of where the notes came from. And that was it. Didn't have any line of little notes you can press, nothing fancy. Or wait, they actually had one where it's like the big circle and then you press both sides down and then you would get the point. It wasn't good. It felt like an insult, honestly, like they thought girls wouldn't be good at rhythm games or they didn't really want it, the rhythm games. But that's the whole point of having a rhythm game, having actual beat maps. That's the whole point. That's what I wanted. I like my boys, but without having any engaging gameplay, I didn't want it. I did not want it. It was not good. Another thing, the UI, I didn't like it. It felt kind of clunky compared to their sister counterpart games. I compare the games all the time. They're by the same company, Bandai, just treated their girls better. Obviously because they were girls, it wasn't good. And then the events weren't actually rhythm events. You would think if it was a rhythm game, the events would have you playing the songs more, but it was more so of a card battle with some rhythm in it. Like you had a little card battle part. It's like, oh, you want to play the song for extra points? And like, sure, okay. I didn't keep up with the game long. I played it for like a month, and that was it. That was as much as I can stomach for it, and I said, I'll just quit and just go back to my girls and hope I can have something else later in the future for them. So with me not really being interested on the live on stage game anymore, I kinda separated myself from the SideM fandom. Like, it's more so of I didn't actively seek out SideM content. Like the game kind of really did kill off a lot of my interest for it, even though it was one of my favorite things, especially with my fave boys. I was never honestly part of the fandom because interacting with people was actually really scary, and I mostly just retweeted fan art on my Twitter and stuff like that. But I still followed the translation Twitter on at SideM_ENG. You guys gotta check them out. They're really good for SideM news if you need any. So I kind of dismissed all of their notice reels like, oh, SideM's still going. Alright, on with my day. I kind of went headfirst into other fandoms like Grand Blue Fantasy, Utapri, Instars, Mahoyaku, Helios Rising Heroes, sports animes, Otomes, and other gachas to try and cover up the pain deep within my heart about the tragedy that is SideM live on stage. And then I saw a notification that a friend sent me on Discord how they were raising the prices of the paid gyms on live on stage. And I was just sitting there like, raise the prices? Is the game going under? I feel like they did that because they weren't making as much money as they wanted with the game. It wasn't doing as well, and I wonder why. I wonder why it wasn't doing any well. Then I saw there was a shutdown notice for the game, and I was like, damn, I know I didn't like the game, but that's all I had besides the actual simulation game that they had online. And I was like, alright, that's sadness. I wonder what's gonna happen now. Is the fandom dying? Is it dying? I hope it wasn't. I still liked looking at the fan art, reading fanfics, doujin, and all that good stuff. I was praying and hoping that the fandom was not gonna die on me, even though I never was a part of it. So with the announcement of Live on Stage being closed eventually, I was just sitting in my little corner, forcing down my feelings by grinding gacha games, mostly Instars because they had actual models in beat maps. I'm never gonna forgive them. I'm never gonna forgive them or forget about those damn models SideM gave us. There's no excuses. Deresute came out in 2015. Live Stage came out 2 years later, 2017, and the models were somehow horrible. How? What sorcery did someone do? Did someone curse SideM? They had to just to have those damn models look like that. It's something I'm never gonna forget. I look at them and I just cry on the inside. Who? Why? Who looked at that and thought, yeah, these guys looked hot enough? Either way, in my little sadness, Bandai announced a new SideM game, Growing Stars. And the little short PV was shown, didn't show any of the gameplay, was like, hey, we're getting a new game, here's some hype music and some graphics, get ready for it. And I was hyped as hell. Fans went crazy, I went crazy. Finally, something good was going on. And then I was like, yes please, my boys were finally gonna get justice. Or at least I hoped. I hoped they were gonna get some justice after what happened. So I was desperately praying for something good. If they were shutting down live on stage and bringing out a new game, it had to mean it was going to be 1,000 times better than what live on stage was. It just had to be. It could not have been disappointing, or I don't know what would happen with the fandom. It would implode or something. They would be like, is this it? Is this it? You shut down live on stage and gave us something crappier? So we had finally gotten a date for the live stream about the new game about a month later when they first announced the new game Growing Stars. And I was really excited, especially as soon as the date got here. I think it was like 8 a.m. for me, which is early for me. So I stayed up, honestly, because I think I had to watch another premiere. I think it was for the new song for Paradox Live for the new group. That's really good. You guys should check that one out. But back to the topic. So I watched the live stream and I live tweeted it on my account, and people saw how crazy I was going. But it was nice seeing how some of my other fellow VTubers are also into it because they're also SideM fans, and that made me happy that I wasn't the only one who was sitting there watching it. And I think a few days before the actual live stream, when they had the waiting room open, I made like little comments like waiting, happy, super excited, and someone said I caught Lottie right there in 4K. Look at her in the waiting room. Yes, I'm in the waiting room. I am waiting for my boys. They're going to get the justice they deserve. At least I hope. I prayed and hoped. They just needed it. They needed it. But during the live stream, it finally was happening, and they actually didn't, what's the word? They didn't drag it on like how some live streams they talk a lot before actually showing the announcements. They show the announcements like right away, about maybe 15-20 minutes into it, possibly earlier. But I was super hyped. It was there, and the PV was really good. The boys got new logos, new outfits. And the 3D, no, not 3D models. There's no 3D models, but the 2D models were actually looked pretty good. I was a bit sad there wasn't 3D models, but that's fine because the 2D models that they had looked pretty good. But what made me happy is what we had actual beat maps. Actual beat maps. I can actually sit there and challenge myself trying out expert. I was overwhelmed with lots of good feelings because it was happening. The PV that they showed everything was so pretty. My boys are finally getting their justice. And then you can call, they have calls with them. Calls and text messaging your favorite characters. That's legit the one thing I love. It's like Mystic Messenger and kind of like situations CDs, legit dreams and fanfics. It's a legit dream that I can sit there and text Toma. I wish I could send him cat photos, because if I could, I would spam with so many photos of my cats. Like, sir, look at my kitties. Price and Kill are the cutest thing ever. Please love them. It was just so good. And then they hit us with the Zuto Sonasaki e, and I cried on the damn spot in my room. I'm sitting here bawling, hoping no one walks in seeing me cry over anime, guys. Let me have my moment. Let me just sit there and cry and release all the feelings I've had over these years for my boys. And it's honestly really exciting that they're finally getting a game. Something better than what was live on stage. Thank God. Thank they are getting something good. After the PV was shown about the new game, I know the hype was still there, but it was like slowing down. It was sort of slowing down as they were starting to talk about the different ways you can play the game, all the stuff they added, and then new unit. Like, my Japanese is not good, but when that man said Shin Unito, I was like, new unit? New unit? And then they showed the PV for that. And it's been years. I think the last unit that was added inside him was around 2015 or 16, like around that date. So it's been like 5-6 years since a unit has been added to the series, and we're getting a new one along with the new game. The hype, like the chat in the live stream was going crazy. Everyone's like, what? Nani? And it was wonderful just seeing everyone just kind of come together and all collectively lose their minds. The new unit, they're babies, they're so cute, they're baboos, just look at them. C first, or how they say it, you can pronounce it as class first. I love them so much. Like, bro, what the hell? They're so freaking precious, and their song is a banger. It is a legit banger. We're the one, boko ni makasete. They are the ones who are gonna take all of my money and sanity. They're all so cute, and I'm a little partial to Hanazo no Momohito. That color palette and then the little heart-shaped mole is the cute thing. Is a cute thing. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy. We have a new unit. We have a new unit, and then that's more numbers added to our boys. They're bolstering up. They're bolstering up. After showing the PV for the new unit class first, they end up showing the voice actors, and they're all cuties, legit all of them. They're rather new to voice acting, either having some experience or maybe not so much with like main roles, maybe background characters. And I honestly hope that them being in SideM gains them recognition within the voice acting industry so they get many roles within future animes, because it'll be really nice to see that. I'm happy that they are part of SideM, and it's a wonderful project, and I honestly hope that they do enjoy themselves playing their characters and meeting all the other voice actors. And I welcome them, and I hope the whole fandom welcomes them into the SideM family, because they're most definitely welcomed. With Idolmaster SideM Growing Stars being announced, there are some things I would like to see in the future, some like speculations I have. So we do know that Live on Stage is shutting down. I believe the shutdown date is August 31st of this year. So obviously Growing Stars won't be released until after Live on Stage is shut down. So I'm hoping or assuming Growing Stars may be released at the end of the year or early next year. I think that would be a good wait time to have Live on Stage in, and then showing up with Growing Stars available for all players. Definitely I have notice on for the Growing Stars Twitter. I'm waiting for any little news I can get. Since we do have see first a new unit in the series, there may be a possibility of having other new units later on added. Idolmaster Shiny Colors, with each anniversary of the release of the game, they do add a new unit. So it is possible that Growing Stars may also do the same thing. And they don't even have to make new characters, because there are some characters stuck in audition limbo who could definitely use some units. And honestly, 3 of those characters who were stuck with them sort of in audition limbo did have their own group made in the later on in the series on Legenders. So it is a possibility. SideM's next live stream is for their anniversary, I believe sometime next month. So there is a possibility that we will get more Growing Stars information, something new maybe. Don't give your hopes up. It might not happen. It might. They might just show the PV and maybe show some more gameplay. And so then they do have a way to, tide over the hunger for more news. SideM has released a playlist on YouTube that showcases all the live 2D models of all the guys. And you can continue to listen to See First's song on repeat until that's all you can hear and think about, because that's what I definitely will do. And with that, that is everything that I had to say about Idolmaster SideM, Live on Stage, and Growing Stars. Thank you for watching my first YouTube video. I was very, very nervous recording and editing this, even though it's legit just me sitting in my room, looking sad. But I had fun, and I actually learned a lot. SideM is a fandom near and dear to my heart, so I hope this video was entertaining or maybe somewhat educational to others who maybe are new to the SideM series or don't know anything much about it besides Idol guys. There will definitely be more videos in the future of me fangirling about my fave series. And now I think I gotta do the YouTube thingy, If you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed to this channel. If you enjoyed my fangirling, you can go ahead and follow my Twitter to see more of it, and cat pictures and me talking about gacha games and my Otome games, because I have a few addictions of those. If you want to see my fangirling live or hot anime guys, you can follow my Twitch, because I mostly play Otome games, and there's always riddled with hot anime guys. Other than that, again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye!